my takeaway from doing that very, very super brief cameo, driving myself to quote unquote Ramsay Street, which I haven't been out there like since, decades, and thinking, looks more or less the same.
Here we are with another album as well. Oh my goodness, do you ever stop? Is this the 16th studio album?
It is. I mean, if I hadn't heard that said a lot recently and if someone had asked me, I would have said, I don't know what number it is. For me, it's just the next one. But yeah, 16.
Yeah, it's exciting though to do this. Also, I mean, I remember the first album really well, and it was something that I played continuously on cassette back in the day.
Yes, cassettes, vinyls. I mean, they're back. I actually have cassette and vinyl for Attention, so it's gone full circle.
I saw that. There's like a 4-pack of kind of cassettes that you
have.
This
oh, they're just so yummy.
Looking back from where it started on that first album to now, obviously it's been a few years in the middle, in between, but the process has completely changed. Does it feel like a different industry now?
Yes and no. I mean, yes, because you've got social media, you've got streaming, you've got all of that, which I've had to adapt to and embrace. But I would say still, the recording process, it's changed from the early days for me where I would literally fly over, be written out of Neighbours for 2 weeks, fly over, record what was put in front of me and leave. So over time, obviously, I'm much more part of the process now and get absolutely obsessive when it's making the album time. But the recording of the song, I don't know, that's the thing that hasn't changed. When you're performing songs, that hasn't changed. So thankfully there's enough that's what music is.
Yeah.
So yeah, bits around the edges have definitely changed.
The performance is also always something. I feel like you always put a little bit of extra effort into it. It's always so exciting. And I saw you in the summer actually perform on stage wearing, I do not know how you walked in these massive red heels.
Oh, no. I mean, I'm like a high heels stunt person, literally. I've stacked it a couple of times, not going to lie.
What, on stage?
Yeah. But not too often considering the kind of shoes. Yeah, I mean, it can be quite perilous, but they look good.
I know, but the thing is, I think that when anyone comes to see you live, it's a show. It's not just you standing there singing. It's a whole experience as well.
Yeah, I mean, I try and do that with everything, really. Try and over-deliver and really give the best experience possible. So that leads to plenty of sleepless nights and anxiety for me, but I wouldn't have it any other way. That's my process.
Yeah, I bet. I mean, you've got a busy year with Tension out, obviously, and then you've got Vegas coming up as well. How's the preparation coming for that?
It's going good. She's like, the voice goes up an octave. It's fine. Very exciting. Just we're sorting out the set list, sorting out costumes, lighting, high points, surprises. Like putting any show together, it takes some time, but the fact that it's Vegas, it's hugely exciting. It feels like a rite of passage, and I think the closer and closer I get to that to opening night, I'm just going to feel, the kind of the ghosts of the greats who have performed in Vegas, and I think we're going to have a really, really fun, one-of-a-kind show.
Yeah, it's crazy as well when you do a Vegas show, I guess. People come from all around the world to come and see you perform.
And they're in a different state of mind as well. What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. Yeah. So it's a really intimate venue, 1,000 capacity, so snug. But of course we're going to put on, as we were just mentioning, we always go a little bit extra. So,
and then in the middle of it all, you just kind of obviously don't make it easy for yourself. Come back to the UK and perform at the Royal Albert Hall. Yes. An audience with Kylie. Hang on, now I went to an audience with Kylie years ago.
It was 2001.
Is that how long ago it was?
I'm pretty confident it was 2001.
You did perform Can't Get You Out of My Head. I remember that.
Yes, yeah. I also performed with Kermit the Frog.
You did.
Which is one of the highlights. Actually, someone asked me the other day, who's your favourite duet partner? I should have said Kermit. I was crying. When I met Kermit, I cried. It's like you just met this character from your childhood. That was a great moment. I'm super excited to do it again at the Royal Albert Hall, which is a venue I just adore. So yeah, that will be December.
Yeah, we were saying that when you're at the Royal Albert Hall, you can see everyone a bit clearer.
Yeah, it's beautiful. It's everywhere you look, it's gorgeous. Some limitations with where the staging is and with, you know, that amazing the organ that's there with all the pipes and stuff. But I just feel like when you walk into that venue, it's just so steeped in history and a luxury, and it looks great, it sounds great. So I'd be excited to do an audience with anyway, but at the Royal Albert Hall, I think it's going to be incredible.
So if we can talk about, obviously, 35 years now since, especially for you, that also obviously was an era back then when you and Jason were on Neighbours together. Recently you got back together to do the big kind of finale, which ended up not being the finale.
The faux finale.
The faux finale. What was it like going back to that? Because obviously it's been a while since you were presumably on Ramsay Street.
Yeah, it was an odd one for sure, because I don't think any of us expected it. But the emotion that it brought up for everyone that Neighbours was ending, which it really was ending. So we agreed to do that. But my takeaway from doing that very, very super brief cameo was driving myself to quote unquote Ramsay Street, which I haven't been out there like since, decades. And thinking, it looks more or less the same. And so I pulled into the court. What do you call it here? Not the court. You call it a
little drive.
A cul-de-sac.
Okay,
into a cul-de-sac. Yeah. Drove to the end and had to just circle at the end and come up and park behind the hair and makeup trailers. And that was the moment for me. I thought, this is very different to 19-year-old me in my Datsun learning, learning my lines, driving to work at kind of 6 a.m. It was a really lovely moment, actually. And then Jason was there, and the director for that episode was a director who worked with us back in the day, and he directed I Should Be So Lucky, Got to Be Certain. So it was this weird, emotional, it's like we're in this other state.
It's funny when you look back at all the different kind of years of you doing music, you've had different styles throughout the way, and I think that's one of the amazing things. I mean, everyone always talks about different artists who reinvent themselves. You must be queen of doing that, because you also quite often find a different sound, a different look. Is there anywhere along the way that you've gone, that hair was maybe not right, or maybe that look wasn't right? I think you looked great the whole time.
You have no idea.
No,
There's plenty. I might look back at this moment and go, what were you thinking? But I would try and run away from that stuff at a certain point, and then at another certain point I just went, do you know what? I just got to, own it all, embrace it all. And I think it's part of why I have this really unique relationship with a lot of fans and people who maybe aren't even necessarily fans, but I've just been here for a lot of people's lives, and that they've seen me, grow from a young adult into, all the different stages and challenges and highs and lows that life brings. And so amongst all of that, yes, is some highly regrettable fashion choices. But that's okay.
Everyone has those as well. It's just that maybe we're not living quite in the spotlight.
Yeah, the difference is most people can kind of, shred those photographs or hide them under the bed or something. No, mine are out there.
They're everywhere there. New album Tension is out now. What's your favourite track on it?
Oh, that's so hard to say.
You must have one. It's
I mean, it changes, but I will say I'm grateful for them all, but there is a track called Hold On To Now, which I'm especially fond of, and I think that will be, it's not kind of, unless you've got the album now, you won't have heard it because it's not out on kind of radio play, but that song, from me, will be a forever Kylie song.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to be listening. I mean, I literally cannot stop singing Padam Padam. So
Yeah, I'm sorry. Gets in and it will not leave.
All summer, right through to the autumn. It's just there. But it's a great song.
Thank you.
For that reason. Kylie, so nice to see you.
You too.
And yeah, say hello to Dannii.
I will.
And we look forward to seeing you next time.
I look forward to it too. And Padam.